You just bred your rabbits. When you should do it again. Stick around, talking about when to rebreed your rabbits. Alright, so if you recently got started in raising rabbits, you just bred a rabbit for the first time, you're so excited you're gonna be getting kids soon, or you probably already got kids, and now you're wondering when you could do it again, when you could put them back to breed. That's how you're gonna build up your experience, and that's how you're gonna make your money, basically, by breeding. So when should you rebreed your rabbits? Depending on your operation, the size of your operation, depending on how your sales are going, you're probably gonna have some maths to do. First point, you can rebreed your doe the very same day that she kindles. As long as she's receptive, she would go for breeding. 2 to 3 days after she kindles. However, you will be compromising the health of your rabbit if you do, in fact, rebreed your rabbit very soon after she kindles. Bear in mind that pregnancy requires a significant amount of energy. It tends to take a toll on the body. You want to allow your rabbit some time to come back, to build herself. You want to give her some time to have for herself as well too, right? And if she recently kindles, means that she's also nursing, and so she's going to be nursing and she's going to be pregnant at the same time. It's going to take a toll on her. So you want to, it'll be nice to give her a little time off. If it's a 2 week interval, a month, but take that into consideration. Another thing you want to consider, after a rabbit kindles, she would lose weight. So you're going to want to ensure, first of all, while she's pregnant, you want to ensure that nutrition is up. It is on point. Okay, so that her health is not compromised. But when she does kindle, she would tend to lose weight, and you're going to want to give her time to build back up nutrition and gain her weight back. As a general rule of thumb, we generally don't breed a doe if she is under 5 pounds. So she should be beyond 5 pounds. 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 9 pounds, that kind of thing is great. But if you wanna have back-to-back breedings, if you deem her to be in adequate health and she has an adequate weight, minimum of 5 pounds, you can go ahead. Just bear in mind that the more you breed her, the more intensively you breed your rabbit, the more her health will be compromised. Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, how often you can and should rebreed depends on your operation. You're going to have some maths to do, because you're going to have to work out how many spare cages you have to put her kids. Because when you breed your rabbits, when she kindles, while they're nursing and stuff, they'll be in the cage with her. You don't need the extra cage. But when you are ready to wean those rabbits, you need to have a cage to put her in. So if you are selling kits, if you don't sell the rabbits the very day they wean, you will need another cage to put them in. So you already need one extra cage. If you have 4 empty cages and you have one doe, you can rebreed. You can breed that doe today. She kindles within 30 days, and then you give her, let's say you give her 2 weeks. Within that time, you would have put her kits out in one of the empty cages. She will kindle again. You can put those kits in a spare cage, and in that way, by the time the first set of kits reach to slaughter weight, you would have already bred your doe 3 times, and you will still have another spare cage to put those kits in. But by then, the first set of kits would have reached a market weight, and then you will be looking to slaughter them for meat. So you will now have, and your first cage will now become free again. If you have a really good grow out rate, you can cut that down. It will depend on your grow time. With good genetics, good feeding program, your rabbits are out in 10 weeks, your rabbits are out 12 weeks, right? If they're there with you for 16 weeks, you will need, and you're breeding at 2 weeks, you'll need to have spare cages, because you have to ensure that the first set of kids that you wean, you have to accommodate for that. So if it is your grow takes 4 months, account for having the first set of kits with you for 4 months, which means you know that that cage is going to be occupied for at least 4 months. So you're going to have that. That is how you work it out. You need one spare cage for every weaning that you do. If you have 4 cages and you have 2 does, you'll probably want to give them, space it out a little more and not rebreed as often. So you only have 2 extra cages, right? You're not going to want to breed every 2 weeks because then you're not going to have space, especially if you're breeding both of those does at the same time. You're not going to have extra space. If you have four cages and you have 2 does in 2 of those cages and you only have 2 spare cages to put, you can only breed those does once. So in a case like that, if you only have 1 spare cage per doe, you'll need to time how soon your first set of kits are removed from the cage. So if you have 1 spare cage per doe, right? If you breed your doe and if your growth is 3 months, for instance, right? If it takes you 12 weeks to reach to slaughter weight, you know that cage is going to be occupied for 12 weeks. So you'll want to work back then. You have 12 weeks to get the first set of kits out. It takes 1 month for the does to kindle, so we call that 4 weeks. 4 weeks for the doe to kindle. So we down to 8 weeks, and you count for weaning. Let's say it takes 6 weeks, so then we back down to 2 weeks. So then, yeah, 2 weeks later you breed your doe. If your growth rate is 16 weeks, you'll do the same thing. You know it's going to take you 16 weeks for you to move your kits out of the cage. So 16 weeks, take away 4 weeks to allow for the month that it takes to kindle. So you have 12 weeks and then minus 6 weeks that it takes for the kits to be weaned. So it means that you're not going to breed that doe back for another 6 weeks because you need to allow that 6 week gap to allow you time to get the cage empty. Okay, so you're gonna have to work some maths out, and I really hope that you understand the explanation that I'm given in the maths. I'm hoping it doesn't seem too complicated. As a matter of fact, let me bring out a board and see if I could further explain what I mean. Okay, so I brought the whiteboard in an attempt to help explain what I was trying to explain a little better. So this here says that you have 4 free cages per doe, and you wondered what rebreeding interval you can work with. So you breed your doe, she kindles after 30 days. That day of kindling, for the argument of this example, we call it day 0, right? So day 0 is the day she kindles her first set of kits. Now it takes you 90 days for your kits to grow out to reach their market weight. So this here represents day 90 of the first set of kits. Now you're not going to wean those kits the day they kindle. They have to stay with mom for a little period of time. 6 to 8 weeks is the recommended amount of time that kids should stay with their mother to allow them time to build up their antibodies and such. So you're looking to wean at day 42. So from day 42 to day 90, your first set of kits will be in the first cage that you have free. So you're taking that into consideration and you're telling yourself, okay, I would like to rebreed after 2 weeks. So 2 weeks after your doe kindles, which will be day 14, after she kindles her first set, you'll look to rebreed her. When you rebreed her at day 14, now day 14 will be, we're still looking at the life of the first set of kits. So at day 14, when your first set of kits at day 14, you rebreed your doe, and your second set of kits will kindle at day 44. So this will be set 2. So you will have your second set of kits at day 44. So your first set of kits will be 44 days old at that time. You would have weaned them 2 days before your doe is expected to kindle. So you know when kindling is supposed to take place, you remove the first set of kits from the doe, you put them into their own cage, set 1 is here, and you take the kits out, you put in the nest box, at day 42, and she makes her second set of kits at day 44. Again, another 6 weeks period for weaning. Your first set of kits will now be 86 days old when the second set of kits are to be weaned, so they will go into their own cage. So your second set of kits are in their own cage at day 86. Before those kids get weaned, you would have already worked out that you want to breed her 2 weeks after she made her second set of kits. So 2 weeks after she made her second set of kits, the first set of kits will be 58 days old, and then she will be expected to make that third set of kits at day 88. So this here will be your third set of kits. Now again, we are looking at it like the first set of kits in this case. So the very first doe that you bred, your very first set of kits that you have will be 88 days old when your doe kindles for the third time. So therefore, if the kits are to remain with you for 90 days, your first set of kits are with you for 90 days, she kindles her third set of kits when they are 88 days old. You know that you still need to have these 2 cages free. And she's going to wean her third set of kits when the first set of kits are 130 days old. However, the 130 days has crossed the 90-day mark. Those kits are already off your hands. As the first set of kits, that is provided that you are slaughtering at 3 months. So when you work it out, you realize that you can rebreed your doe 2 weeks after she kindles. You're only going to need 2 spare cages per doe at a 2-week interval breeding. And that is assuming as soon as the first set of kits have reached market weight that you are able to get them off your hands. If you want to leave a 2-week grace period, a 2-week recovery period after you wean those kits, so she's able to spend some time with herself during those 2 weeks period, you do the same thing. So don't rebreed at day 14. You want her to allow her another 14 days. So you will then instead rebreed at day 28. I hope that my whiteboard and this green marker has proven to be beneficial. If I have not adequately explained, please write down in the comment section. Further to that, when you rebreed, you'll also want to consider when you need to have meat available. If you want to have meat available, say 3 months from now, you should have rebred a month ago so that they would kindle now. If you want to have meat, say for December and we're in June, that's 6 months. Use your calendar and work it backwards. You want to have meat available in December, you count 3 months back from that, and then you want to allow 1 month for the doe to kindle. So you'll actually be counting back 4 months, which is August. So you'll want to breed in August. So at the start of August, say August 1st, you breed your doe, she will kindle on September 1st, and then add 3 months, we'll take it to December 1st. You're going to have meat ready for December. So that's another method that you'll want to employ when you're trying to figure out when to rebreed, when you want to have meat available. Something else that you want to consider: how intensive is your operation? How intensive do you want to run your operation? If you are raising rabbits for your family, you have 2 does available. You're not doing this to make extra money or anything like that. You wanted your does to live with you for as long as possible, and it's only so much meat that you can't actually eat. So you may probably only need to breed that doe maybe once every 2 months, once every 3 months, depending on how much meat she produces within that. If she produces 5 kits at every breeding, that's 5 rabbits that you have available. That's going to be 15 pounds of meat, at least 15 pounds of meat after slaughter that you have from that one rabbit. So you may not need to rebreed her very often. She may be able to get 2 months rest in between breeding, because within the 2 months that she is resting, you have meat available. So you know that you have meat to last your next grow 3 months. So you're using all of that information to determine when to rebreed your rabbit. It does take a bit of maths. It should not be anything that's very complicated. Don't forget to keep watching. Stay subscribed to the channel. We have more in store for you. We would actually be doing a little more aside from talking about rabbits as well too.